All right, friends. Hello. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I just finished, for I think the third time, the book Star Wars Dark Disciple. And I've wanted to do a review of this book for years, and so here it is. Read it. Read it now. Stop what you're doing and read it. Unless you're in traffic, then obviously drive to wherever you're supposed to be going. But then find it and read it. Dark Disciple is a fascinating book that follows the storyline of Asajj Ventress and Quinlan Vos as they attempt to not only end the galactic civil war, but actually assassinate Count Dooku. Now, this assassination actually comes at the request of the Jedi Council, which is not something that is very Jedi-like, which is a concept that is actually explored deeply within the story. What are the Jedi willing to do in order to end the war, in order to save lives? Are they willing to go to the dark side? Are they willing to do such a thing that is uncharacteristically Jedi? Yes, they are. That's really the point of what I'm saying. They absolutely are. What they do is they assign Quinlan Vos to assassinate Count Dooku. Now, if you don't know, Quinlan Vos is the dude with the eye tattoos. He's kind of arrogant. He's pretty snarky, and he's in the Star Wars Clone Wars, he's kind of a jerk, and I don't like him. But in this book, his brash egotism comes off as charming and endearing, and I really enjoy it. But what's awesome is they realize, hey, look, Quinlan can't just go in and kill Dooku. That's not going to happen. You need some help. And so Obi-Wan's like, hey, so there's a person who used to be Count Dooku's assassin, who Count Dooku tried to kill, who then let's see if Asajj Ventress will work with Quinlan. But of course, Quinlan, don't tell her that you're a Jedi. She's not going to be super open to that. So get her trust, lie to her, and the story follows their relationship. Now, they end up working together. They end up becoming partners. At this time, Asajj is a bounty hunter. At this time, Asajj has lost her entire family. She's worked with Boba Fett, right? Like the young baby Boba. This is like mini Boba before he becomes big bad Boba, or then like even dad bod Boba. This is a person, an Asajj, who's really lost everything. She's lost her Jedi master. So if you didn't know, Asajj was a Jedi at first. It's a whole thing. She's lost her Sith master, and then she's lost her family. So now she's just a bounty hunter, just kind of like working her way through the galaxy. It is a fascinating story. And so she and Quinlan work together. She then realized that Quinlan's a Jedi, and it's a whole thing. Because it's not like, even though we know that he's a Jedi, even though we know that she's a Sith, like, they don't know each other. It's a big galaxy, right? And so these two end up working together, and they kind of fall for each other, which is super adorable. But it's done in like a great way. It's just done really, really well. Now, I won't spoil the book, but it's awesome. You should read it. Now, we don't know how this book will play into the future of Star Wars, but we do know that officially this is canon. Now, there's a lot of really cool things that take place in this. Now, first and foremost, this gives us a deeper insight into Asajj Ventress. It is absolutely fascinating. Now, this hands down is one of the best source material pieces of source material about Asajj Ventress outside of Dooku Jedi Fallen, which gives her really a lot more insight into who she is, right? From her perspective. Here's the thing. It's well written. It was originally written by Katie Lucas, daughter of the creator himself. And it was originally set to be part of the Clone Wars story arc, right? If you don't realize, or if you don't remember, the last 2 seasons of Clone Wars really had Asajj kind of stepping into a role and kind of doing her own thing. And we saw a lot of her. But then when Disney bought Lucasfilm, we kind of got some of those other story arcs kind of pruned or cut. And this was one of them. And so the story arc was given to Christy Goldie, who then turned what Katie Lucas had done into a full-on book. And it's phenomenal. And it's great because we see the daughter of George, the daughter of the creator, having like her hands just deep in to the dough of this character. Now, if you don't know, Katie Lucas had actually written many of the storylines, many of the episodes that include characters like Asajj Ventress. And so it has a very natural, very awesome connection. Now, that's great. But what it also does, another thing that's really interesting, it shows a council divided. So many people, as they're watching Star Wars, as they're watching, the prequels, that you ask yourself, like, how do the Jedi not know that Sidious, that Emperor Palpatine or Chancellor Palpatine or Senator Palpatine was a Sith, right? And you have to imagine like what they were going through. None of this was. It was such a foundationally awesome plan of Palpatine's to do what he did and the way that he did it, because he has the council carrying out an assassination attempt, which is a fundamentally anti-Jedi thing, right? It's like, do good, don't kill people without needing to. And I don't know, assassination for a Jedi would be like, I don't know, Boy Scout stealing Girl Scout cookies. It feels wrong, right? And in the book, the council is divided. You have people like Obi-Wan who's like, whoa, like, yeah, Dooku's a bad guy and we should stop him and kill him and bring him to justice. Kill him if we have to, but bring him to justice. We shouldn't just kill him. We shouldn't just like put a bullet through his head, kind of a thing. That seems a bit much, because then you have people like Plo Koon, you have people like Ki-Adi-Mundi, you have people like Mace Windu who were like, we gotta kill him. And then you have others who are like, we probably shouldn't go down that path. That seems a bit much. But throughout this story, they keep making these choices that seem very, very anti-Jedi, right? Which, if you're familiar with Mace Windu's character, if you're familiar with some of these characters, or if you just read the story, it just feels very like, all right, this seems like a logical way. Because yes, assassination is a dark thing, but think of how many millions of lives we'll save, right? It's like killing baby Hitler. Would you kill baby Hitler if you knew that you would save that many people? Like, obviously your thought would be, yeah. But as we saw, Deadpool, it's like a hard thing it's a baby, right? Now, what the story also does is you get a little bit of Anakin's story, right? And, you see a side moment when Anakin and Padme have this little moment together, and Anakin's like, oh yeah, well, Asajj Ventress, she's a bad person, and so on and so forth, and Voss is falling for her, and Padme's like, oh yeah, she's bad, she's seducing, and like off at this point, obviously Anakin and Padme are married, and there's this will they, won't they turn to the dark side and murder everybody. But and then finally, one of the coolest things is it brings in other bounty hunters. Now remember, at this point, Asajj Ventress is a bounty hunter. She is a person who's going out and making a name for herself. Now, what's interesting is in the story they're calling her No Name. It's so good. At least the other bounty hunters are calling her No Name, and she works with Boba Fett. She works with Imbo. She works with a number of other people. It's just a really cool connection. Now, with all of this, one of the things that is so fascinating about how the story actually plays out, it's really poetic and it's really beautiful. And like, I absolutely love this. It is hands down one of my favorite Star Wars novels in the new canon, in Disney canon. And really, they did a solid job. Now, I think a lot of that comes from this was a Clone Wars story arc that they just repurposed. But they repurposed it with a skilled author taking an original script and really building it into amazingness. Now, there's a few things that are really interesting here. Like if you are interested, if you get the book, the audiobook actually, the hardcover comes with this excerpt from Katie Lucas as she talks about kind of like her approach and how she works the story and kind of like how she approached it and what other things were going on in her life and how that played into this storyline, which normally I'd be like, okay, whatever. But like reading an author's thoughts on how everything kind of works together was a really fascinating thing. The paperback book, because the actual the audiobook, the hardcover book doesn't have this, but the paperback book also comes with this little vignette called Kindred Spirits, and it's a short by Christy Goldie, and it follows the storyline of Asajj Ventress, who at this point is, bounty hunter Asajj, and a Bloodbone Order pirate captain trying to like overtake some stuff from Hondo Ohnaka. So, I mean, how do you not love that? That's just awesome. And again, it's really fascinating. Now, the overall concept of this and the greatness of this story is, I can't oversell it, I don't think, because it is such a solid story. It's well done. It's well written. I've read it. I've got the book up here, so it's made it to my shelf. Now my shelf these are all the books that I have liked, that I've listened to and or read, digitally, and I've purchased. If it's made it here, that means I'm probably going to read it again. Also, when the world fails and comes to an end, this is the stuff I'm reading anyways, so it's made it, at least to my personal collection. I love this book. If you guys want to check it out, take a link in the section below. 2 free books, 1 month, and it's free. Try it. If you don't try the Audible, go to your local library, guys. Get a book. Sail the 7 seas. Be a pirate Jedi. I don't say that lightly. It is that good. It is a solid work. But if you want to help the channel, check out the links below. You can also see in the link below my full-on write-up of this on my website, my actual review, my book review on goingnerdy.com. But anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, share. Check out the links in the section below and let me know if you've read it. Tell me what you think. And are you excited to see Asajj Ventress return in the Bad Batch? How is she going to return? I don't know, but I'm really excited to see. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.